Hey, what's up? It's me, Elay. Welcome back. It's a new year for me, new year for you and everyone. What I want to talk about today is about, being yourself, um, being you, and not worrying about trying to fit in with everybody else because, I'm not the only person who thought like that before. You know, what I think you should do is just take a look on the inside, be real with yourself. You might have to do it when you have a day off from work. For example, like if you work all the time and you really want to change your life around, it of course starts with you. Take a day off from work, schedule it in, turn off your cell phones and everything. You might have to let people know if you have kids. You might have to plan it. Plan to take off at least a day or two for yourself and get by yourself at home or somewhere, library, put the earphones on, get out some paper or pray or however you see fit, and just be like, what can I do now to make myself better? Outside of looking at everybody else, comparing yourself to everyone else. I know it's easy to want to fit in because you're speaking for the masses. Everybody is kind of like run off the product line, the assembly line, looking and being like the same thing, same hair, same nails. I know the look that everyone's like representing is a look for this era that we're in. Like we have the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now we're in this 2000s. Whatever. So it is a specific look to what people are reaching, but it don't mean you have to follow protocol completely like it. Girls, you don't have to have the weave. You can want it, but there's a difference between wanting it to fit in. I like hair weave. It's awesome, especially if you're trying to let your hair grow. Hair weave is the perfect product to use to protect your natural hair from being damaged. But don't get into this role or this to the game where you think you have to have it in order to be accepted, because one day you might not be able to afford it. What are you going to do then? Start building your confidence now, so when you get to a point where you're like, yo, I look good with or without the weave, there you go. And guys, I know it's hard, but I know you want to fit in and everything. Got to have money. You got to be a gangster. You got to do all this just to get the girl. That's for the masses, unfortunately, how they've trained people to be. You have to look outside the masses, and there's plenty of women out there outside that box. For example, if you go to a mall on the weekend, there's going to be basically one type of chick there. So how about go to the mall on a Monday, early Monday morning, or early Sunday morning? You'll see a different type of girl there. You know what I mean? Like that. You know how to pick your battles. Know which yard to walk into. You have to know yourself. And you have to have confidence. You don't have to you don't have to overcompensate for your confidence, but just have enough to have courage to go ask the girl out. It don't take much. It's okay to be nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, it is fine to be nervous. But take it for what it is. Just please be yourself. Remember how you used to be when you were little? When you really kind of didn't care what people thought? You just hated going to school? I'm speaking to the ones who hated going to school. You knew you hated going to school. You want to be at home with your mama, your grandmama, or your dog, anything. You wanted to be somewhere else. You knew that for a fact. But since you had to go, what did you do when you were in school to adapt yourself comfortably without having to completely conform? Take life like that. Sometimes we forget because there's so many pressures of everyone just doing it. You have to go back sometimes and remember who you were so you can refresh who you are today. No different with these fashions. The 80s are back, and it's like 2017. They brought the 80s back but they revamped it. They refreshed it. It looks a little crisper. The edges are sharper, a little more tailored, because the stuff in the 80s was baggy and tacky to me. But now it's like they got a second chance to redeem themselves with the fashion of the 80s, and they brought it back, and it looks a whole lot better. I would actually rock a lot of the stuff now from the 80s. That stuff back then was terrible, but I knew where they were coming from. They had to start somewhere. It was a new, fresh generation, and that is what they had to work with. The clothes look more primitive shape. Now they are elongated, more stretched out, sophisticated to tailor and cut every size body. So it's wonderful because you can have the weirdest shaped body in the world, but those clothes still will fit on you and make you look like a rock star, you know? So I'm happy. As far as fashion, we've come a long way. And I would like to use the reflection of fashion into today's realm of how people view races as a whole. We've gotten better. You know, we've got the Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, every race under the sun lives matter. I'm not getting technical because at the bottom line is everybody, the majority to me, realize that, you know what, Black lives do matter, white lives matter, Korean lives matter, Asian lives matter. But at the end of the day, we're like, you know what, we are MF the matter. And I'm like, your GD Skippy. So I'm glad this Black Lives Matter started because that sparked an edge for every other race to be like, we're not included in this. You know, we're not included in this. A lot of it stormed up because, you know, some people just want to be included. You can't be included in everything. That's just the way life is. If everybody was included in every single crevice of what this life is about, per se, there wouldn't be any diversity. There wouldn't be any individuality. But what I'm saying is the overall basis of the spark and foundation of the Black Lives Matters is that all lives matters. Everyone came to the happy conclusion that that's the case. So we've moved on from fashion to the morals of human lives mattering. You know, that's what it is at the end of the day. So narrowing down what I'm saying to you, your life matters. Now let's get personal. Your life matters. So having said that, you make a T-shirt or you start a campaign and put my life matters. And when you think about that, write the reasons of why your life matters. Why do my life matter? You know, make a list. And then reread that list over and meditate on those things that you wrote. You'll be pretty surprised at what you come up with. You'll be more real with yourself that way than you know. Why do your life matter? For those who are suicidal, think about why you liked what you did when you were happy, before you got to that point. One thing, personally, what did you like about existing on this planet? There had to be something, be it puppies or when your mom made you happy. Find that one thing and just indulge in it. You don't have to indulge in the world to enjoy life. All you have to do to get a jump start to bettering yourself and being yourself and loving yourself is simply starting with one thing and let it snowball from there. I want you to just wake up, and if you don't want to get out the bed, enjoy that aspect and be a couch potato. That's your body telling you, honey, you need to be at home resting. And when you get enough rest, you'll have a clear state of mind, and more answers will come to you that way. Don't worry about combing your hair. Don't worry about if you don't have hair. Just be the best you can be. Even if you're on a budget and can't afford things to make you, per se, look better or dress better, once you start developing an inner glow in yourself, all that stuff will come to you. You'd be surprised what somebody's giving away or what people just don't want. I'm a witness of that. Be who you are, love yourself. This is Elay. I'm starting to just be called Elay now, but Elay Understood is where you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google. I want to thank you for listening to my show. It's been a while since I've been on. Be you. Go back to early childhood and remember the things that you were certainly sure of what you liked and what you did not like, and take that philosophy to the next level of how you feel in your life right now. That's all I have to say. Mwah.